So today we are reading chapter 5 from The 100 Dresses, and you should be on page 39. You can see them walking with umbrellas. Okay. So that's your page for today. So get to that page and let's start reading. The next day it was drizzling. Maddie and Peggy hurried to school under Peggy's umbrella. Naturally, on a day like this, they didn't wait for Wanda Petronsky on the corner of Olive Street. The street that far, far away, under the railroad tracks, and up the hill led to Boggan's Heights. Anyway, they weren't taking chances on being late today, because today was important. "Do you think Miss Mason will surely announce the winners today?" asked Peggy. "So remember, they're announcing the winners of the drawing contest." "Oh, I hope so, the minute we get in," said Maddie, and added, "Of course you'll win, Peg." "Hope so," said Peg eagerly. The minute they entered the classroom, they stopped short and gasped. There were drawings all over the room, on every ledge and windowsill, tacked to the tops of the blackboards, spread over the bird charts, dazzling colors and brilliant, lavish designs, all drawn on great sheets of wrapping paper. There must have been 100 of them, all lined up. They must be drawings for the contest. They were. Everybody stopped and whistled or murmured admiringly. As soon as the class had assembled, Miss Mason announced the winners. Jack Beagles had won the boys, she said, and his design of the outboard motorboat was on exhibit in room 12, along with the sketches of all the other boys. As for the girls, she said, although just 1 or 2 sketches were submitted by most, one girl, and room 13 should be very proud of her. This one girl actually drew 100 designs, all different and all beautiful. In the opinion of the judges, any one of her drawings is worthy of winning the prize. I am happy to say that Wanda Petronsky is the winner of the girls' medal. Unfortunately, Wanda has been absent from school for several days and is not here to receive the applause that is due her. Let us hope she will be back tomorrow. Now, class, you may file around the room quietly and look at her exquisite drawings. The children burst into applause and even... Okay, so I'll reread that sentence in a second because now what we have is another page that has 2 whole pages of illustration, and we get to see some of those really pretty designs. Don't get lost in the picture. You can always come back or you can pause for a second, but make sure you keep going. The children burst into applause, and even the boys were glad to have a chance to stamp on the floor, put their fingers in their mouth and whistle through, though they were not interested in dresses. Maddie and Peggy were among the first to reach the blackboard to look at the drawings. "Look, Peg," whispered Maddie. "There's that blue one she told us about. Isn't it beautiful?" "Yeah," said Peggy, "and here's that green one. Boy, and I thought I could draw." While the class was circling the room, the monitor from the principal's office brought Miss Mason a note. Miss Mason read it several times and studied it thoughtfully for a while. Then she clapped her hands and said, "Attention, class, everyone back to your seat." When the shuffling of the feet had stopped and the room was still and quiet, Miss Mason said, "I have a letter from Wanda's father that I want to read to you." Miss Mason stood there a moment, and the silence of the room grew tense and expectant. The teacher adjusted her glasses slowly and deliberately. Her manner indicated what was coming. This letter from Wanda's father was a matter of great importance. Everybody listened closely as Miss Mason read the brief note. "Dear teacher, my Wanda will not come to your school anymore. Jake also. Now we move away to big city. No more holler Pollock. No more ask why funny name. Plenty of funny names in the big city. Yours truly, Jan Petrosky." So that sentence is saying that apparently the whole family was being teased. They weren't being called names and being asked why they have a funny name, and they weren't feeling accepted. So now they're going to move to a bigger city where different names are more common. A deep silence met the reading of this letter. Miss Mason took her glasses off, blew on them, and wiped them with her soft white handkerchief. Then she put them on again and looked at the class. When she spoke, her voice was very low. I am sure none of my boys and girls in room 13 would purposely and deliberately hurt anyone's feelings because his name happened to be a long, unfamiliar one. I prefer to think that what was said in thoughtlessness. I know that all of you feel the way I do, that this is a very unfortunate thing to have happened. Unfortunate and sad both, and I want all of you to think about it. The first period was a study period. Maddie tried to prepare her lessons, but she could not put her mind to work. She had a very sick feeling in the bottom of her stomach. True, she had not enjoyed listening to Peggy ask Wanda how many dresses she had in her closet, but she had said nothing. She had stood by silently, and that was just as bad as what Peggy had done. She was a coward. At least Peggy hadn't considered they were being mean, but she, Maddie, had thought they were doing wrong. She had thought, supposing she was the one being made fun of, she could put herself in Wanda's shoes, but she had done just as much as Peggy to make life miserable for Wanda by simply standing by and saying nothing. She had helped to make someone so unhappy that she had to move away from town. Goodness, wasn't there anything she could do? If only she could tell Wanda she hadn't meant to hurt her feelings. She turned around and stole a glance at Peggy, but Peggy did not look up. She seemed to be studying hard. Well, whether Peggy felt bad or not, she, Maddie, had to do something. She had to find Wanda Petronsky. Maybe she had not yet moved. Maybe Peggy would climb the heights with her, and they would tell Wanda she had won the contest, and that they thought she was smart and the 100 dresses were beautiful. When school was dismissed this afternoon, Peggy said with pretended casualness, "Hey, let's go and see if that kid has left town or not." So Peggy had the same idea as Maddie had had. Maddie glowed. Peggy was really all right, just as she always thought. Peggy was really all right. She was okay. So she's not saying, oh, she's all right, like she's fine. They're saying she is all right as in she still believes in the same morals. She still has the same thoughts and believes things are right and wrong. And she's starting to realize that what she did was probably hurtful to Wanda. So now I want you to get out your novel packet and turn to Chapter 5's questions. And while you're doing that, just be listening. So we got a lot of information here. We see that Wanda had this beautiful hidden talent that the kids didn't know about because they didn't take the time to learn and meet Wanda. And now they also found out that because of the way Wanda and the family was treated, now they're moving away. So they're all starting to realize some of the things that they are facing. So now you should be at Chapter 5 questions. It says, change the word in each statement to make it correct. Maggie and Peggy didn't wait on Wanda because it was hot. It wasn't hot out. Why didn't they wait that day? What was it doing? Remember, they were carrying something that'll help you answer this question. Bill Byron won the boys' contest. Who won the contest? Because it wasn't Bill Byron. Jan Petronsky said they were moving to Poland. That's not where they said they were moving. Where did it say that they were moving? They were moving to what kind of city? Maddie couldn't concentrate on her schoolwork because her head hurt. What hurt? Her head didn't hurt, but because she was so worried, something else hurt. Okay, now look at number 2. Read the passage from Chapter 5. Now, class, you may file around the room quietly and look at her exquisite drawings. The word file, as it is used in this sentence, likely means what? So what does she mean when she says you can file around the room? Okay? Read the passage from Chapter 5 for number 3. Dear teacher, my Wanda will not come to your school anymore. Jake also. Now we move away to big city. No more holler Polak. No more ask why funny name. Plenty of funny names in big city. Yours truly, Jean Petrovsky. Why does the letter contain short, choppy sentences? Why do you think that it contains short sentences that aren't really complete sentences in some ways? So why do you think that that's happening? All right, so read this sentence. She could put herself in Wanda's shoes. Which literary device does this mean? Or is this using? So, she's putting herself in her shoes. Is she literally putting herself in Wanda's shoes? No, she's not. So, is she using a simile, a metaphor, or an idiom, or an onomatopoeia? Remember, onomatopoeias are our sound words where we say like buzz, or bang, or when we say splash and things like that, right? Look at number 5. Which 3 phrases best summarize chapter 5? So it gives you some options. Number 6. Which of the following events happened last? So we have A, B, C, and D. Which one happened last in our chapter for the day? Number 7. Do you think Miss Mason blames herself for the Petrovsky moving away? Explain why or why not. Okay? So do you think Miss Mason, the teacher, blames herself for them moving away? And then say why or why not. Number 8, what is the author's purpose for including the letter in the story? So what good does the letter do in us being able to get a better picture of Wanda and her family? Okay? How does that help our story? Okay? So do your best on this. Remember, some of these are your own opinions, so don't be shy to give your opinion in this. Do your best work, and I will see you all soon. Make sure you take a picture and turn this into Google Classroom under reading. Thanks, class.